Hi, everybody. It's Tyler Clary here again. Let me know once you've logged in. Give me a shout out. Hello. Want to know where you're from, what swim team you're repping. Also, I want to know if there was anybody here right now. I want to know if you were a part of the mental skills webinar that we did just a couple of hours ago with Marcus and David and Brett and Dan. Let me know if you guys were there. I don't think I'm muted. Everybody can hear me, right? Let me know in chat if you can hear me. Obviously, we've got Lee Sommers back here with us today. Looks like most people were there and can hear me, so that's good. Obviously, last week we had a couple of issues with the webinar crashing. Really, really sorry about that. But the second one that we did the next day went pretty well. So haven't had any issues since then. So we're glad you guys are back. We'll get started. So again, my name's Tyler Clary. Most of you guys know me at this point. Another quick notification, please don't spam in chat. I'm starting to see a little bit of spamming going on. Don't forget, I'll ban you if you spam, so please don't do that. There's a little button like right over here. If you're on desktop, it's red and it's got three dots on it. If you click that, it'll actually minimize the chat box for you. And if you have any connection issues at any point, you should see a button if you're on desktop up here that says reconnect, and it'll refresh your page and it'll bring you back. Again, we've got Lee Sommers here with us. He's a pretty awesome guy. He's a strength and conditioning coach in the DC area with 20 years of experience. He's worked mostly with swimmers over the last 7 years, and most notably, he works with Katie Ledecky. Everybody knows who Katie Ledecky is, right? Let me know in chat if you know who Katie Ledecky is. So at this point, we're going to have Lee turn on his audio and video and let us know how he's doing and how his back's doing today. I know that last week he was having some back issues. How's your back today, Lee?
I'm slowly recovering, as much as my kids will allow me
to. Well, very, very glad that your back's getting better. I know that, again, last week we had some technical issues, and I believe we've got those behind us, and we've got a great workout for y'all today. So we'll go ahead and get started. I've written up for you guys a PDF of the actual workout. So some of the things on the workout are not going to make a whole lot of sense. I'm going to flash them up on screen here for you for a couple of seconds, just so you guys can see the general plan. But if you stay till the end, I'll actually send out a file within this webinar, so you don't have to wait for your email or anything like that, but a file in this webinar that'll actually give you the workout, but you have to wait until the end. So let me go ahead and flash this up on the screen for you. Bear with me for a second. Application window, here it is. All right, so everybody should be able to see this. Okay, we're just going to put it up for a little bit. You guys can take a screenshot of it if you want. It'll only be up for a little bit, but then at the very end of the workout, like I've said, we'll actually be able to give you a PDF of this workout through the webinar right now. Excuse me. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the screen share off. You guys should have had enough time to take a shot of that. And Lee, let's go ahead and get started with some cat, cows, and bird dogs.
All right, guys. So today, guys, we're going to work on some stuff that we have worked on in the past and some stuff we haven't. Some of the stuff in our movement prep section, stuff that you'll always work on from now until the end of your swimming career. And then some of it, we're going to add in some resistance stuff, some core stuff that we haven't done yet. And if you have questions throughout, obviously, ask Tyler, and he'll make sure to relay the question to me. And let's get started. So we're going to start on the floor. Bring you guys down here with me. All right. First couple of exercises. Cat-cow for 10. Again, we're tucking the tailbone first, so we're not moving through the shoulders a lot. We're going to tuck the tailbone, round out your low back, tuck your head under, round out, and then bring yourself back one segment at a time. We're going to do 10 of those. Slow and controlled. One segment of your spine at a time. Once you're done with that 10, we're going to do our bird dogs. Same as last week, opposite arm and leg. Raise up, try and make one straight line from your fingertips to your heels, and back in. 10 on one side, and then 10 on the other. Okay, we're going to be a little bit more athletic today, a little bit less focus on some of the groundwork, and a little bit more focus on athletic movement. That being said, in my dining room here, my little workout room, you're not going to see the entirety of my body for every movement. I may just be going in and out of the screen, which you guys will have to do too. Hopefully, as Tyler always mentions, make sure you have lots of space around you, especially for today's workout. Okay. Next one on your sheet, it's called a hip complex. So this is a quadruped position or all fours position. I'm going to show this to you from a couple of different angles. We'll let you guys finish up those bird dogs, and then we're going to go into this. So looking at me from this angle, again, hands stacked under the shoulders, knees stacked under the hips. You're going to pick a leg, and you're going to make circles at that hip. Pick up the knee, small circles, 10 in one direction, 10 in the other. So you can see that from a couple different angles. The knee's going to come up, out and around, small circles, getting control of your hips. Nothing else moves, core stays engaged. 10 in one direction, 10 in the other. And then when you finish that one, don't switch the other leg yet. The last one is called a fire hydrant for very obvious reasons. You'll notice in a second. Pick up the leg, keep the knee in line with the other knee, and just move at your hip. Okay, so that'll look like this.
It's a great nickname for this exercise.
There, as far as you can go, make sure you don't tilt your body. You're staying nice and rigid everywhere else and just moving through the hip. Everyone has different ranges of motion on this one, and that's fine. Go to where you're comfortable. You'll feel your end range. Okay, and then you'll switch up sides. 10 of each, guys. So breaststrokers, obviously, the more we have control over your hips in a multiplanar fashion, the more efficient you'll be with your stroke. Small, controlled, 10 in one direction.
This is called the hip complex, Andrew. This is called the hip well, excuse me. This is part of the hip complex, but the one that he was doing just a second ago was called fire hydrants.
Yep. So we'll call this all fours hip work or hip complex. You're on all fours, making a tabletop, and going through that whole series of exercises. 10 of each, guys. All right, should be finishing up there. Now this next one, we're going to go through a series of stretches. We're going to call this dynamic flexibility. I'm going to go through some stretches and you're going to move. Sorry, you guys can't see my head. All you're going to do for the first ones is dig in your heel. Keep this leg straight. You're going to hinge your hips back. Reach and scoop up. Okay? So when you dig in that heel, keep that leg straight, send your hips back, scoop on up. You're going to feel that stretch back here. Hamstring, calf, scoop, and scoop. Reach as far as you can. We're going to do 10 of those, 5 on each leg. Down and reach. Reach. We'll do 10 of those. The next one you're going to do is a high knee hug. You're going to pull this knee to your chest and then push up to your big toe of your down leg. So up and push up. 10 of those, 5 on each leg. Try and pull that knee up to your chest. Once you've done 10 of those, we're going to do a quad grab. So with this one, you're going to grab the foot. Make sure you're not pulling, so you can see this from the front. You're not pulling out here outside of your body. You're pulling back towards your midline of your body. So pull back and reach. So you can see that. Pull and pull. Reach with the other hand. Reach up for the ceiling. Pull it up. Get as long as you can. Pull it up. 10 of those, 5 on each leg. And the last one, best view will be from here. You're going to grab the outside part of your lower leg and pull it up. Here and pull up. Okay? And you may notice that on one side you're a lot more flexible than the other. And that's okay. 10 of those. Last couple of these last couple we did do last week. First one is inchworms. Hinge at your hips. Find the floor. Walk it out. And then walk it back in. We're going to do 4 of those. Run through that 4 times. Should be on about number 3 right now. And then the 4th one is that elbow to instep or world's greatest stretch. Big step. Straight leg on the back leg, strongest heel from head to heel, one straight line. Left knee, left elbow comes inside, reaches out, up for the ceiling. Again, not at the shoulder, not flinging the shoulder back. Reach for the ceiling. Back down, rock back, and then switch it up. We're going to do 3 on each side. And by the way, guys, this is one I love for you guys to do prior to a meet or even in between events at a meet. It pretty much addresses all the muscles where you need stability and mobility in your sport. All right, we're going to go through 3 of each of those, and then we're going to move on to the next thing. All right, now the next one, guys, you are going to move. Hopefully you've got some space around you. You're in your basement, you're outside. You're able to move a little bit. We're going to go through what's called a dynamic warm-up, an athletic warm-up. So I'm going to show this from 2 different angles, coming right at you and going side to side. First one is going to be a high knee skip. So when you skip, I don't want you to bound. I don't want you to leap forward. I want you to bring your knee up, opposite arm. So if I'm bringing this knee up, this arm is coming up, this arm's coming back, and then I'm going to drive down. So it's going to be staying on the balls of your feet. Opposite arm and leg are moving. Drive it out in front of you. Drive the foot down. So when your foot comes up dorsiflex, toes pointed up, and then drive it down. Okay? One more time. You do that for about 10 yards. And then you're going to do the same thing going backwards. So 10 yards, knee up, and then drive your feet back behind you. So one more time. Lively on your feet, knee up. We're going to do 10 yards each way. Next one will be a butt kicker. Best way to see this is from the side. Get a little bit of a lean forward, stay tall, and stay on the balls of your feet and just kick your own butt. 10 yards of that. And then when you're done with that 10 yards, you do a monster or a Frankenstein march, opposite arm and leg. We're not skipping this one. Try and keep your legs straight, toes pointed up towards the ceiling, and try not to collapse your hips. Try and stay up tall. Just like that, 10 yards. 2 more of these to do. The next one will be karaoke's. If you've ever played another sport, you've probably done these. Probably a lot less as a swimmer. Karaoke would be leg behind, leg in front, and then you just keep repeating. So if I'm going to do that here, it's here. You're rotating your hips, but your torso stays parallel to the wall in front of you. So you don't rotate your upper body. You just rotate your hips, okay? 10 yards in each direction. Okay, and once you're done with that, last one on the dynamic warm-up, you're just gonna do a defensive slides. If you ever played basketball, you get into a low position, hip to shoulder width apart, you're just gonna slide and slide. Okay, stay low in your hips, don't pop up, stay low. 10 yards in each direction. Okay. Now, heart rate should already be up a little bit. You should be breathing heavy. Feel free to have a sip of water. And then we're going to go to one I don't believe we've done yet. It's called dead bugs. We may have done them once. So with this, parents, if you're there with your kids, I'm going to need you to keep them honest. Okay? So you'll start in kind of this reverse tabletop position. Right away, if you slide your hand in here, you'll notice in a lot of cases you can slide your hand into your low back. What I need you to do is get your ribs down, tuck your tailbone so that your low back is flat to the floor. Then from here, opposite arm and leg are going to move. Low back stays flat. Make sure you can't slide your hand or anything in between the low back and the floor. And then here, the off hand and off leg do not move. This doesn't move, that doesn't move. Breathe out all your air, which will make it tougher. And if you're doing a good job of holding a brace, when you breathe out your air, you may get a little shake in your abs. That's what we're looking for. We're going to do 10 of those, 5 on each side.
All right, let us know in chat when you're finished with those. Let us know in chat when you're finished with all your dead bugs.
All right. This next one, we've been talking about the mini bands. Hopefully at this point you guys have gotten to order your mini bands. If you don't, so if you do have the mini bands, obviously the mini band will go above your knee. You're going to do that same series that we've been doing each week. 10 here, 10 here, 10 here, and 10 slides in each direction. Okay? Now, you don't have a mini band, I'm going to give you an alternative with a regular band. Okay? So, any type of band or tubing will do. What you're going to do, step on it, try and get equal tension on each side. This is a lot easier with sneakers. Then you're going to cross the bands and pull it to your hips. So I take the bands, cross them in front of me, and pull it tight to my hips. And now you can do your slides fighting that lateral resistance. So just hold that band tight and slide. Don't have the mini band, so you're not doing the dives, you're just doing the slides. We'll do 15 slides in each direction. If you're using the mini bands, you're going to do 10 dives on each side, 10 dives with both legs, and then 10 slides. I'll give you guys some time to get through that one.
Can you show people the alternative if they don't have any bands at all?
If you don't have any bands, get some bands. Just kidding, guys. So we've already done one alternative, which was kind of that fire hydrant, which I like for this. But another one, which we've done a couple weeks now, are these guys. Straight leg for 10. Knee drives for 10. And circles in each direction for 10. And then switch sides.
All right, let us know in chat once you've finished that exercise, either you, whether or not you had a band. He gave you 2 different options to do that. So let us know when you're finished, and we'll move on to the next section.
Hopefully you guys are crushing it. You're feeling this. You should be feeling a lot of this in your hips. We did a little bit of extra hip work today, plus the dynamic stuff.
Looks like most people are finishing up. Let us know how you're feeling, by the way. Did you feel a little bit of a burn in your hips and in your butt? Let us know if those exercises were effective.
They were for me. That was my workout for the day right there, Tyler.
All right. Looks like people are saying that it was pretty good and they're finished. Awesome. Good.
All right, here we go. So to our resistance portion. At this age group, a lot of this is going to be body weight. If you want to add very light weight, either with dumbbells in your hand, something held underneath of you, paint can, light backpack, something like that, that's fine, as long as your form is not sacrificed. So in our first 2 weeks, when we got into our quad dominant, our knee dominant movement, we did more squatting. We did a squat matrix, or we did regular squatting. Today, we're going to put that on a single leg a little bit. Okay, so the first exercise, and this is going to be a superset. Superset means that you're going to do one exercise, and then you're going to immediately follow it with a second one that is complementary. Okay, so your resistance exercise is going to be your split squat. Start with your feet hip width apart. You're going to take one leg out in front of the other, and then you're going to hold this position. Stuff to pay attention to here. Make sure your toes are all facing straight forward. We don't want either one of those sets of toes facing in. It should all be facing straight forward. Also, when you take this step, make sure you're not walking a tightrope, okay? I don't want you to step so that your right foot is right in front of your left foot and you're having to do this on the way down. You should be about hip width apart, big step, okay? So you can see that I'm still hip width. This knee and foot is still in line with this hip. I didn't step inside. Back heel, and I'll show this to you from another angle, is going to be able to be lifted. Front heel needs to stay in contact with the floor. And you're going to go down and up 10 times, and then we'll switch legs. We're not lunging. We're staying in this position. You can call this a split squat or a stationary lunge. I don't really like calling it a stationary lunge because we're not lunging. We're just squatting, but on a single leg. Down and up. Now, if you want to see this from the side, one foot in front, one foot behind. You can see that back heel is allowed to lift as I go down and up. You should feel this in this quad, glute, and some of you, if you're tight here, may feel a little bit of a stretch in this leg. That's okay too. We'll do 10 on one side, and then we'll switch it up. 10 on the other side. Under control. Like I said, hold something light if you want. Down under control. 10 per side. As soon as you're done with that 10, we're going to go right into that superset exercise, that complementary exercise. It's going to be 8 jumps. Last week we did counter movement jumps, non-counter movement jumps, where you were holding, go, and then you landed and reset. Today we're going to do 8 repeat jumps. So here, 1, 2, 3. You're going to do 8 of those. Okay? So if you guys are done with your split squats, you can go into your 8 repeat jumps. Landing well, getting out of the ground fast. Think walls, guys. Think you want to make contact with the wall, you want to absorb the wall, and you want to get out of it as quickly as possible. Okay? I'll let you guys finish those jumps. Tyler, if you could have them check in, letting me know when they're done with their split squats and their jumps.
All right, y'all, you heard him. Let us know once you've finished up with all of your split squats and your jumps here. To Deepa K, he's not going to go back and demonstrate those other exercises. You can watch the replay later on once you get this in a couple of hours. So just join back in with us. Once you get the replay, go ahead and go back and watch and figure out what you missed, and then you can do them at that point. I know you've got lots of time on your hands right now. All right, looks like most people are finished.
All right, next exercise. Keep in mind, we're gonna repeat all of these 3 times. So I'm showing them the first time, and then you're gonna repeat them 2 more times on your own, and I'll be there to answer questions. You're gonna set up your band right out in front of you. We did this last week. Squat down, just a little, shoulders down and back, and row. Try not to row up here. Try and get your elbows close to your sides, shoulders down and back, away from your ears. And we're gonna do 12 of those, guys. And I'm gonna show the 3rd exercise once you're done with that 12. Reminder, if you don't have a band, we're still doing this row. Chest parallel to the floor, grabbing a dumbbell or something with some weight, and rowing back towards your hip. And that'll be 12 on each side. Everyone should be getting close to the end of that one. Last exercise of this series. We're going to do a side plank. Bottom knee is going to be in contact with the floor. Foot will be behind you. This leg will be stacked right on top of this leg. We'll side plank up and do abduction with this hip. So stay solid on this side and lift this leg. Don't fall down into your side plank onto the floor. You'll do 10 on one side and then 10 on the other. Again, I can't see you guys, so I'm going to kind of coach and cue it as much as I can, and you guys are going to hopefully be able to follow. Here, side plank, bottom knee is bent, bottom foot is behind you as you go into this leg lift without collapsing that hip. 10 on each side. And Tyler, I'm going to start ending these every week. So I've started with my virtual sessions with RMSC and with NCAP, doing little trivia questions for the group. I think I'll end with a trivia question for the group. Tyler, you might be on mute.
I am on mute. Thank you. By the way, y'all, next week, we're going to be doing a couple of things a little bit differently, okay? For one, the people that show up to our webinars, there's actually going to be a giveaway at the end of some of them. They could be gear giveaways. They could be gift cards. You're not going to know until you come and participate in the webinar, but that's going to be one thing that you guys should keep your eyes out for. So the more webinars you come to, the more likely it is that you're going to get something for free. Also, we're also going to be changing up how these workout classes are done. So I know that there's been a lot of feedback from people that are doing these workouts with us, and they want Lee to be able to see them. We're going to be making some changes so that the class sizes are going to be much smaller, and Lee is going to have the ability to see and correct you. So keep a lookout for that. Again, we're not going to tell you what it is that's being given away for free, but next week we're definitely going to be changing how these workout classes go. So pay super close attention to not only our website, but our social media accounts to make sure that you don't miss getting in some of these classes, all right? I think most people are finished up.
All right, so has everyone gone through that 3 rounds? That's what
You're able to see the chat, right?
I was not in chat, but I can put myself in chat. Let's do that. I like to have the full screen. Ooh, it is so windy here in Maryland that my grill just blew across the deck.
Oh, no.
That is not good. All right, so you should have done 3 rounds. 3 rounds of split squats, 10 sets each, plus 8 repeat jumps. Rows, 3 sets of 12, and side plank with top leg abduction, 3 sets of 10 per side. It looks like everyone's saying, done, yes.
I think they're excited about the smaller classes where you're going to be able to see and instruct them. So I think that's going to go well.
Yeah, so I can tell you guys that the thing that, I mean, everyone has the thing that they miss most out of this quarantine. I miss working with athletes and coaching and cueing athletes. So I still have my athletes in a virtual setting. But I love coaching, cueing, and writing programs for people that are specific to them. So that's really the thing that I'm missing the most, sitting in front of this screen as opposed to really working with people. All right, so Kim braces. It's storming where she is. And Jaden loves small classes. Sweet. All right, so next set of exercises. We're going to go with an upper body exercise, then a shoulder corrective exercise, and then another version of a hip bridge. Now, posterior chain, or what we call the backside of your lower body, is tougher if you guys don't have equipment. So if you've got falls, if you've got heavier weights, and heavier is all relative to your age, I understand that. But with floor work, it's a little limited. If you've got a stability ball, that's great. It gives us a little bit more play. So what we're going to do, we're going to go back to the floor. And first one, we've done this both weeks so far, push-ups. I'm going to give you a couple different progressions and regressions. Obviously, the first one is knees in contact with the floor, straight line from head to knees, down under control, up, down under control, up. Okay? If you want to progress that, but you don't want to go all the way to a push-up, you want to add some shoulder stability, do the push-up, and then the shoulder tap. Push-up, shoulder tap. 10 reps. Second one would be here, feet wide, hands shoulder width, push-up, tap, push-up, tap. 10 reps. Okay, I'll let you guys get through that first 10. I see a lot of chat, Tyler, so if there are questions towards the end, I'm happy to answer.
Yeah, we will answer questions at the end. I think you can continue.
Okay, so once you're done with those push-ups, we're going to go into a bridge. So what the bridge that we've been doing, guys, is either this one, where you're using both legs, rolling up one segment of your spine at a time, or not. Or you've been doing the single leg version, just driving through the one hip, squeezing the one glute. Today what we're going to do is a march. So you're going to hold the body position with your hamstrings and glutes. You're going to push up, and you're just going to march. So hold your glutes tight, lift the leg, lift the leg. Okay? Hold your body position, squeeze. So right now my right glute is working, my left glute is off. Then when I put the left foot down and extend the right leg, now the right glute is off, left glute is turned on. Okay? So we're working on glute timing here in relation to your core. So when you're swimming, and let's just say you're doing freestyle kick, one glute is turning on while the other one is turning off throughout your kick. We're going to do 20 of those, 10 on each side. Okay, guys should be finishing up that one. I'm going to show this one from 2 different angles. We haven't done this yet. So this is called a band pull apart. With this one, guys, I want you to use a lighter band typically than you were using for your row. Okay, the row, those are big muscles. Your lats are huge muscles. The biggest muscle in your upper body can pull a lot of resistance. With a band pull apart, we're going to be relying on some small muscles in the shoulder and the upper back. So you're going to grab the band. The closer together you grab, the harder it will be. The wider, the easier it will be. We're going to grab, and you're going to pull it apart just like that. Okay? Big cues here. As you're pulling back, I want you to think about getting your shoulders down and back. So don't pull up here. Pull down and back. From this view, pull it down and back. Like that. And what I don't want you to do, what a lot of people will do, is they'll dump into extension, which means they'll try and pull, and if it's too hard, they'll arch their ribs like that and stick their ribs out. I want you to focus, just like with the dead bugs, keep your ribs down and just pull it apart. Okay, we're going to do 10 of those. And then we're going to repeat that series 3 times. Push-ups, band pull aparts, and the hip bridge, the march. Okay? If you don't have a band, you can go back to your soup cans. Grab your soup cans and do your T's for 15. Okay.
Okay, guys, we're fully aware that not everybody has a band, so you don't have to continually tell us that you don't have bands. We know you guys, some of you guys don't have them, all right? Also, if you don't have soup cans, like Elizabeth Gong, for example, if you don't have soup cans, find like a couple of water bottles. I'm sure you can find something that you can use for just a little bit of weight. Think for yourselves, people.
2 16-ounce water bottles. Okay? Real simple. But what you need to do when that's lighter is give yourself more time under tension. So if you're doing that T, that lying T with 2 water bottles and that feels light to you, hold. 2-second hold before you come back together every time so you feel that. So, Catherine, can you use light dumbbells? Yeah, you would use dumbbells, but you would do that in the soup can scenario where you're lying on your stomach, okay? That way you're not gonna get any help from any other part of your body, and you're just gonna focus on that retraction, shoulders down and back, and depression, shoulders peeling down and back. Good question. I didn't see who asked it, but someone asked, is this for your traps? So ideally, when you guys are thinking of traps, you're thinking of these big upper traps. I'd rather it not be for your upper traps. So when you're pulling that band apart, I'm gonna kind of just kneel down. Think about pulling down and back so that these big muscles up here can't take over. Yeah. If you try and pull level here, you may feel that because those guys want to take over. They're a dominant muscle in a lot of you guys. So think about, you can even start it high and think about pulling down. So these stay relatively spongy, and those muscles in between your shoulder blades are doing their job. How big are the soup cans? As big as you can handle.
All right, let us know when you're finished with that section, and then I think we've got one last section before we call it a workout. You guys are really going to enjoy this one. I know it. I'll get my timer ready.
All right, so real simple. This is just a plank series, okay? What we're going to do here, I want you to think about that hard style plank that we were teaching before. I'll re-cue it in case some of you were not here for it or you don't remember it. But this is a really simple, what I would call stability drop set. So I'm queuing this one up. You'll start right here. Okay, you're gonna push your fist gently into the floor, pull your elbows back towards your torso without moving them, just create that friction, and then straighten out your legs as hard as you can, straighten out your hips, squeeze your glutes, and hold. When we say go, is when you're gonna do that. And you're gonna do 30 seconds on in a plank, then you're gonna take 30 seconds of rest. Then you're gonna do 20 seconds on, 20 seconds of rest. and then you're going to do 10 seconds on, and then you're going to be done. Open it up to question and answer, and we'll go from there. I am going to leave you guys with a little conditioning that you can do on your own today, and I'll run you through that as well. All right? So Tyler will start the clock. He's got you.
All right, we're going to start that first plank, which is 30 seconds in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so when you guys are holding that plank, make sure you're still breathing normally. You're not holding your breath. The idea is to be able to hold strong, stable body positions without having to hold your breath.
10 more seconds, 10 more seconds.
You guys did great today. You flew through everything pretty quickly.
All right, go ahead and rest for 30. So we're going to rest now. Okay, we got 20 more seconds of rest. Okay. We're going to get ready to go in 5 seconds here. And this is a 20-second hold now. Okay, starting in 3, 2, and 1. 20-second hold now. All right, 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. We're going to rest for 20 seconds now. Resting for 20 seconds. Then we've got one more hold for 10. Okay, we've got 10 more seconds of rest. Bogdan Shalomiv, if you continue that kind of stuff, I'll ban you. So let's pay attention to the workout, okay? Last 10-second hold. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go.
Last bit for the day, guys.
All right. Awesome. Go ahead and rest. Good job.
All right. Last thing I'm going to leave you with, guys, is a little bit of conditioning. It's real simple. We're just going to work on plyometric springiness, but we're going to do it as partially as conditioning. You're going to do 10 rounds. You're going to go 20 seconds on, 20 seconds off. If you have a jump rope, this will be done with a jump rope. So be here, find some space. Jump rope in hand, 20 seconds on, both feet contacting the ground. You're staying on the balls of your feet, just like that. 20 seconds on, 20 seconds off, 10 times. If you don't have a jump rope, just pretend you have a jump rope. So you're just doing this. I know some of my swimmers aren't really good at jump roping, so they can't do this rhythm while doing a jump rope. So I take the jump rope out of their hands and just have them do the jumps, okay? So we're just working on your springiness and the reactive nature of your foot and ankle, okay? So we're gonna do that. You guys can do that on your own. You don't necessarily need me and Tyler for that. We believe that you'll do it. But 10 rounds, 20 seconds on, 20 seconds off.
Good. And you guys can go ahead and do that on your own. But now I think, so first, I'm going to go ahead and share on your screen a PDF of the workout. So let me know in chat when you have seen and downloaded that workout. And while we're doing this, I believe Coach Lee has a trivia question for us.
All right, guys. So no one out of my group with Nation's Capital got this right on the first shot. So we all know Michael Phelps has the most Olympic medals in swimming history. What athlete has the second most medals?
What athlete has the second most Olympic medals?
Olympic medals. Haven't seen any answers.
Does the last name start with a P?
Mark Spitz has the second most Olympic gold medals. Ryan Lochte from Bogdan is correct. He has the most medals. Spitz has the second most gold medals. And actually, I should have prefaced with saying male because there is a female, and it's not Katie Ledecky, who had the second most golds. I believe it's Jenny Thompson.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Good
I think
for
she
her.
had 12 golds. But yes, Ryan Lochte is the answer. He has the second most total medals. Second most golds is Mark Spitz, and third most golds is a Fitter and Faster coach, Matt Biondi. I believe he does work with Fitter and Faster.
Mm-hmm.
Third most golds for men.
Guys, let us know in chat if you're able to see and download that workout that I've shared with you. You should see it pop up on your screen. It just says workout on there. Let me know if you've been able to click it and download. Okay, somebody said they downloaded it, so good. I'm glad people got that. All right, are there any questions about the workout or any final things before we wrap up the session? Let us know. I'm glad everybody got the PDF.
All right. If anyone has questions, I'm trying to follow the feed as quickly as I can.
No questions coming in yet.
All right.
Just people responding saying they got it or not. Chat is going crazy. People may not have questions, so we'll wait just a couple more minutes. Here's one. How often should they do this?
So we're trying to mix up your workouts. At this age group, I would love to see you guys get 2 to 3. Well, normally I would say 2 really good dryland sessions a week. But in our current status, our current situation where you're not in the water, we may want to ramp that up to 3 to 4. Nothing that we're giving you at this age group is going to be so taxing that you're going to be sore or overdoing it. So that just think about in terms of that when you're actually in real swim season and you're in the water doing your work, I think 2 times a week is going to be good. Plus, I'm sure your coaches will give you some stuff to do on deck, some basic core stuff. But for now, if you're doing this 3-4 times a week, you are not overdoing it because you're not getting your work into the water.
Okay, and then I saw a question about my favorite stroke. My favorite stroke is backstroke. Do you have a favorite stroke, Lee?
Well, because I don't swim, my favorite stroke is if I get the athletes that I get to work with. I do really, really, really enjoy working with breaststrokers. Actually going to start working with a new breaststroker from Harvard who's home right now and quarantined. So pretty excited about that. Apparently she's quite the beast.
Well, awesome. That's actually interesting. I thought you would have said like freestyle or something like that.
Yeah, freestyle is the only one where I'm getting anywhere anytime quickly. And it's got to be like a 3-5 or shorter.
Gotcha. Okay. I saw some questions about the giveaways for next week. Guys, the way you enter into giveaways is you register for webinars and you stay on the webinar until the very end. So I'm not going to tell you which webinars it is. We're not going to offer giveaways on every single webinar. But if you sign up and you stay until the end, you've got a shot at winning some free stuff. And who doesn't like free stuff, right? Also, I saw some questions about Logan Kramer, you're getting banned. I also saw some questions about the workout classes for next week. Y'all just pay attention. We haven't announced them yet. You guys are literally hearing about this before anybody else has, but we're going to be changing the way these classes are done. So there are going to be less classes, or less people in the class. Lee's going to be able to see you and instruct you. And if we have to have a lot of classes to make sure that we get to everybody, we can do that. But we want Lee to be able to see you and instruct you. And that's all I can tell you for right now. So keep an eye out for that announcement that's going to come out later on, either tomorrow or early next week. And that being said, I've put up something on your screen. It's a link to Fitter and Faster's app called Swim Videos on Demand. I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about it already, but it's a great place to go and check out drills. I have some videos on there. There's a lot of really useful content in there. There's a free trial. Give it a check out. Also, we've got a pretty big schedule of webinars that are coming out that don't even include the extra workout classes that we've already talked about next week. So keep an eye out for that stuff. Again, sign up. You'll get free stuff. Lee, do you have anything else to end us with?
No, guys, I think, hopefully you guys are getting through those. It's feeling good. Hopefully you guys, the big thing for me when I can't see you especially is be mindful of the way things feel. If something doesn't feel right, you may be missing out on one of the coaching or cueing points. So like if you're feeling the split squat mostly in your knees, not great. If you're feeling planks mostly in your low back, not great. So you want to kind of pay attention to the cueing that I'm doing to try and make sure that you're feeling these exercises in the right place. If you have questions about where you're supposed to feel this, feel free to ask.
All righty. Well, I think we're going to call it there. Actually, I got a question from a coach here from Ethan Gerlach. He says, can my swimmers mix up the workouts, or should they do them as you guys broadcast them? So the idea behind these workouts, Ethan, are that they do the workout with us. But the nice thing is that you can take that workout and you can use it how you like afterwards. It's not like this is a super novel type of thing. The secret sauce about Lee is that he understands how swimmers' bodies work, so he's able to tune certain exercises to get certain things done that are relevant to swimming. So knowing that, you can take the workout and mix it up however you want afterwards. But the idea behind these workouts that, the one we just completed, is that your swimmers do them with us.
Yeah, Ethan, I think a great way to do, because I think it's a great question. I'm not sure how many coaches are on here. If you want to reach out to me on Instagram, Lee Sommers PT, or if you want to get me on email, leesummerspt@gmail. Allows us a little bit more open dialogue for that.
All right, y'all. Well, that's all we got. Thank you very much for coming. You can see all of the replays of not only this episode, but all the past episodes at fitterandfaster.com/replays. And you can look at all of the upcoming episodes at fitterandfaster.com/live. Okay, thanks for coming. Y'all have a great day and wash your dang hands. Bye-bye.